Hello and welcome to the Bogey Lounge. Today we have Neil and Travis as guests. Neil uh, will be back from last week when when my technological issues stopped him from being on because I did not record his voice. So this week now we'll have Neil and Travis. We just got done recording that. It's going to be a great portion of it. But to start, we're going to get into the Players' Championship and how that went really fast so we can get into a really enjoyable around 60 minutes of golf talk with me, Neil, and Travis. So, Cam Young did end up winning the Players' Championship. For the longest time, it looked like Ludwig Oberg was going to win, but a bogey 6 on 11 and a double bogey 6 on 12, followed by a bogey again on 15, and a total score of 40 on his back 9 kind of put him out of it. He was even par all day, but he had such a strong lead until that point, I should say. We had such a strong lead to where it really wasn't affecting his position on the leaderboards because I believe he started the day at minus 13, which is what the winner ended up being, Cam Young, minus 13. He had about a 3-shot lead going into Sunday. So he really just needed to almost basically par out to have a chance to win and just struggled a little bit there on that back 9. Did end up coming down to the final 2 holes with Matt Fitzpatrick and Cam Young. Matt Fitzpatrick ended up finishing in second. Did not have the crowd support like Cam Young did. Obviously, Matt Fitzpatrick is not American. Cam Young is American. The crowd being American was kind of rallying around Cam Young, as it did last year when Keegan Bradley beat Tommy Fleetwood. Again, American crowd. Keegan Bradley, American, was rallying for America to beat the Europeans, especially last year being a Ryder Cup year. So on 17, Matt Fitzpatrick and Cam Young Matt Fitzpatrick actually had a 1-shot lead on Cam Young. Yes, Matt Fitzpatrick had a 1-shot lead on Cam Young and was up first, hit the center of the green. Cam Young then proceeded to hit a beautiful shot to about 8 feet on 17, the Island Green, where he then made the putt for birdie, a phenomenal putt as well. And Cam Young was able to tie the lead when Matt Fitzpatrick 2-putted for par. Then on 18, Cam Young now had the lead tee. Was playing as the hardest hole in the tournament, was 18. And Cam Young piped a drive up the middle of the fairway, hit 375 yards, have a little flip wedge into the green. According to the broadcast in what they call the ShotLink era, where they are measuring that, it was the longest drive on that hole, and that began being recorded in 2003. So you're looking at about 23 years of the tournament, and that was the longest drive on the hole. So phenomenal drive. Truly 3 of the best golf shots anyone could have ever put together at that course in a row at the right time. So phenomenal play there that ended up leading to the win. Matt Fitzpatrick then pushed his drive into the woods, punched out, and then chipped on he was a few feet closer than Cam Young's birdie putt so his par putt was a little closer than Cam Young's birdie putt. And then Cam Young missed his birdie putt, put it to he was just off the green, put it to about 6 inches. Matt Fitzpatrick ended up missing the par putt to send it to a playoff, and Cam Young won with a 6-inch tap-in. But some notable names, I picked Xander Schauffele to win. Xander Schauffele did finish in 3rd, so he played phenomenal. Another golfer who's been at the top of the leaderboard a lot recently, it feels like, is Robert McIntyre. Jacob Bridgman, he was coming off a win. He's at the top of the leaderboard. Ludwig Aberg still managed to finish in the top 5. Tommy Fleetwood and Sepp Straka, Justin Thomas, all common names, it seems like, that have been this year, tied for 8th. So that is your top 10 with, sorry, I forgot I'm actually not going to try to pronounce his name, but I think it's Sardashian is his first name. He finished 5th. This might be his highest finish of the year, but he was one of the golfers in there who is not really relatively known between the common watchers. I would still consider myself a common watcher, and he ended up putting some phenomenal rounds up to probably have his, if it's not his best finish in his career, which I'm trying to figure out right now, it is definitely his best finish in a big tournament. So phenomenal for him to see that too. I'm sure that's something that I'm not sure where he's at in qualifiers for different tournaments, but it could be something to help him move up. Yeah, it looks like that it's his first top 10 finish this year. And he's now, it looks like he might be 30th in the FedEx Cup points, which is phenomenal. He has zero PGA Tour wins. He's actually only has 8 starts on the PGA Tour, has made all 6 of the cuts, and he's someone. It must be. I believe he's a Corn Ferry Tour guy, but looks like he is kind of playing well at the right time. It looks like this might be his first year on the PGA Tour full time, and it looks like he's played in every tournament this year. For the most part, he played in the Sony, the American, the Farmers, the Phoenix, the Cognizant, the Puerto Rico Open, and then the Players. And he is playing well, only missing the cut one time. And outside of the Farmers and the Phoenix, he's been in the top 40 every time. He was 56th and 54th in those tournaments. And then 37th in the Puerto Rican Open. But after that, he's top 20 in every other tournament he's played in, including this top 5 finish. So, someone who could be a name to watch out for in the future, which means I will have to learn how to pronounce his name. So I will start working on figuring that out so I can actually pronounce his name properly and not discredit him like that. But to the rest of the leaderboard, JT was someone who I questioned. He's on my fantasy team to start because he shot 78-78 at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and he ended up playing phenomenal, going 68-68 in round 1 and round 2, and an even par in round 3 and round 4. He could have had a chance to win if he could have played better, obviously, in round 3 and 4, but that's golf. But he played well enough to earn himself a top 10 finish. Brooks Koepka, another guy who played very well and finished 13th. He's been playing well as of late, too. Obviously, 5-time major champion. He could be hitting his stride as well. Victor Hovland rounding out and tied 13th as well. Another name who's been playing pretty well. And Scotty Scheffler just outside the top 20 again. And it almost feels like maybe Scotty is on a downswing. But it's crazy to say because he really could still go out and win any tournament he ever plays. But he has not been playing to Scotty level the last 3 weeks, which is really strange to say because his finishes are better than almost anyone we ever talk about this year and for the rest of the field as well. I mean, he's got a first place in the American in the first tournament. He's only finished tied 3, and then tied 4th at Phoenix and then Pebble Beach, and then 12th at the Genesis Invitational, which was the first time he's missed the top 10, and then for his streak, and then he ended his top 20 streak the following week at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, finishing 24th, and then now 22nd. So his worst finish is tied 24th, and it's weird. It almost feels like Scotty's playing really bad, but clearly he's not. But it feels like he is just because of how dominant he has been as of late. It would be sad if it is a downward trend of Scotty. He's arguably the best golfer since Tiger. Him and Rory could fight over that, but he's arguably the best golfer since Tiger. So it would be nice to see him continue his dominance and continue to be dominant, but it's also good for golf if Scotty's not dominant too and other people are winning and making names for themselves as well. But with all that, we're going to get into the portion with Travis and Neil. So we'll switch over to that right now. All right. So joining us today are my former teammates, Neil and Travis. Neil is who was supposed to be on last week, but the audio was not working, and it looks like it is working this week, thankfully. But Travis is a D3 coach at a college out in West Virginia, and then Neil, I gave this grand introduction last time that wasn't recorded, but he's arguably the best golfer in Concordia school history. I want to start out, I asked Neil last time that didn't get recorded, but I want to ask you guys, especially you, Travis, how much golf do you guys get to play now?
Neil, you can go ahead and start if you want, man.
All right. Like last time said, I every now and then, no, I often work full time now. Like I said, I played about 2 weeks ago, shot mid 70s, but not much anymore being an adult. comes over playing golf now. So hoping to fully play more soon, but it is what it is.
As for me, it's actually sickening how much golf I don't play. Um, After Conco, kind of gave it up for a couple months and then started coaching at the high school level. And I really just kind of stepped into coaching. Like even now, our guys, it's so different on the coaching side of things. Like playing for me is maybe once a month, maybe.
So how much I play?
It's sickening.
Do you get to chip and putt a lot at least? You do like bring a wedge around to practice?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm always short gaming it up. Oh yeah.
So you're locked in there at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's half the game of golf, as Coach Liz would say.
That's a short putting program. Come on now.
Yep. Actually, really good putter does that now, though. So.
I gave that to our guys. Gave them a little bit of a little payback. So that was nice to be able to give to them.
Do you make them do the lag putting drill?
Once in a blue moon. You guys remember the one, like the 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, and you got to get 3 of them in like the half circle?
Yeah, the lag putting drill.
They hate that. They hate it.
That was so tough. Then she started moving it back at the end, so we had like 20. It was like 20, 30, 40.
Mm-hmm.
It was. You could be there for like an hour just doing that drill.
Oh yeah, I've witnessed it.
Thankfully, I was a good lag putter because of that, though. Do you do the chipping one too?
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I went in and printed off a lot of the drills that Liz had us do, and kind of some of them I tweaked a little bit, but some of them I just used the thing from scratch, and our guys seemed to like it probably more than we did. I would say
they actually were looking back. They're pretty good drills.
Like, they actually were very effective. Like looking back and seeing like how the scores kind of got better. I'd say kind of the same thing here. So
we were just frustrated because we went from our practice was go out and play golf to hey, you got to make 30 putts in a row before you leave.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you guys go to the range a lot?
Our team?
Yeah, your team.
Yeah. Our home course's range right now isn't open, so we haven't been using it. But yeah, I'd say we're about. It depends player by player. A lot of our guys are just go out and play. Mm-hmm. They might hit the range for a little bit, but a lot of their practice is playing. We have a couple of range rats, but I'd say it's a good mix between on course and the range.
So is your practice kind of structured like ours were, where it's almost all revolved around short game and putting, and then a little bit of range time, and then, or is it? Do you actually have designated range days? Because I know we didn't, but it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, so we'll have designated range days, and then we'll have short game days, on course days. Some days we'll just strictly do just short game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we mix it up pretty good between the 3.
Are the range days really structured, or?
So me and our head coach, how we kind of like to play it is everyone will get hidden, and we'll kind of walk through, and a lot of it is need based from the players. Mm-hmm. If they need something, they kind of let us know. But other than that, it's if we see something, then we'll work on it. But a majority of it is need based from them, and then kind of going from there.
Is the talent gap from top to bottom as wide as it was at Concordia? Or?
So when we bring 5 to a tournament, there's usually about 8 or 9 that are all interchangeable.
Okay, wow.
It's nice to have, but it can also make it challenging just by trying to figure it out. That's 3/4 of the battle. Mm-hmm. But we're lucky enough. We try to get in a lot of tournaments that are A team plus individuals or A and B team. So a good amount of our guys are getting playing experience rather than just practicing.
Yeah, because when I was there, when you guys were there too, our 5 was pretty locked in. It was us and then Josh and Stig. Like it never changed.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think it ever changed once.
I think it
Yeah, ours.
changed the following year when Zach came around.
Well, I was
Like
gone then.
everybody,
I think he just replaced me.
yeah, yeah.
I know we're changing almost every tournament to tournament. We have about two, maybe three players that are pretty solidified with their standing tournament wise, and then the rest is who's got it. I mean, they're all capable of going out and shooting somewhere in the 70s. So
Yeah.
it's kind of just picking and choosing, and then going from there.
How are you deciding who's playing? Are you guys doing qualifiers? Are you going off of previous rounds or?
Yeah. So we'll go tournaments first. Um, our head coach today, we actually just had a team meeting today. So a little insight for our spring is going to be we're just going to do the first tournament, and then moving from there, the top three scores from the following tournament, they're solidified into the next one. And then the rest of the guys qualify for 4 and 5.
Got you. That's a pretty fair system. I'm not gonna lie. I know we tried to have qualifiers with Strickland. I don't think Neil, you weren't there. You're
I
younger than
wasn't, but
Travis, right?
that's who
So
recruited me though.
Travis
let's
probably knows what I'm
see.
about to bring up. The first qualifier we did. Do you remember that?
My freshman year,
Yep.
our first tournament at Timber Ridge,
Yep.
Nick and Perry, who I'd say were our 1 and 2 at the time, didn't qualify. It was just 9 holes straight up.
Yep.
I qualified.
I
Shouldn't
qualified
have.
too. I shouldn't have.
Hey, I went out there and proved why I should have been playing in that one. But yeah, it was. That was an interesting tournament, interesting qualifier.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, I didn't even play well. Nick and Perry just played terrible. I think I shot like a 48 for the 9, and they just played awful.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like because my score wasn't really qualifier worthy either, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh. But yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, and that was before. I think they changed it when Neil's year, but that was when they had they had like a fall WAC champion, and then they had they had the WAC tournament champion. So it was kind of like the fall was the regular season, and they would do the WAC jamborees. They'd have WAC jamboree 1, 2, and 3, and that was one of the WAC jamborees. And we sent us, and I don't know if we played another tournament that year in the starting 5.
I definitely did not.
I know I didn't. I was like the 8th best golfer, 9th best golfer at the time.
See, but I will say it's from the coaching side of it, it's a very thin line to try to dictate because one, I give props to Strickland for keeping his word and who qualifies is who qualifies. But the other side of it is like, as a coach, do you step in and say, sorry, it's a very, from the coaching side of it, it's a very hard line to try to navigate through.
Yeah.
Because we've had that a couple times, and it's like, it's rough.
I feel like golf is one of those hard things, like compared to other sports. Like if you run track and field, there's quantitative results. Like you know who runs faster, you know who throws farther, right? And then if you play basketball or football or any other sport, there's not really quantitative results. Like you're really going off of practice and drills and stuff like that and feel, and you're seeing, a lot of live stuff all the time. For golf, like there are kind of quantitative results, and then there's kind of not. Like you're doing drills and stuff, but everyone's a little different, and then you're playing different courses, you're playing in different conditions, you have different. I mean, it's such a mental game too. Just one off day or one struggle, and it's completely different. Like your variety of score range can be so large.
It's truly like day to day. You can go out, and who's to say if you bring somebody that didn't travel wasn't going to light it up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even like T. Gala this weekend, he started off hot, and then just it's the disparity it's so big in golf. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there was the WAC championship my last year. I was ahead of Josh after the first 2 rounds. Yeah, which I should not ever be the case.
Well, it's just course though, like Travis said, it could just be the course as well. Everybody plays different on different conditions. You have Europeans that play well when it's windy and
Hmm.
rainy because they can strike it low, and then you have guys who are solid in just perfect conditions. So I mean, it just depends on the type of player. Because I mean, as a coach, you probably see that this guy's good in this conditions, the other guy's not. You probably want to bring him if you see that over this.
Hmm.
Well, and two, it's like what fits the golfer better. Kind of like what you were saying, Neil. Some courses you need a little bit more distance off the tee. Some
That's true.
courses you just got to be locked in and be able to hit shots where you need to. So it really varies course to course, person to person. And I think that's another thing that's so beautiful about golf
Hmm.
is like me and Neil, for example, we play the game completely different. I
Yep.
don't hit it very far. I just kind of get my way through a course where Neil is able to go out and just power through a course. He, so it's a little bit different even from me to Neil. So
Yeah. I was just gonna make that comparison too. Travis, did you play the Grand with us?
I did.
Yeah. Like if I mean, you and I were pretty much the same level golfer most of the time. You were slightly better than me, I would say though. But if we were going to the last spot of the Grand, like if it was you or I take someone to the Grand, like realistically, it probably would have been me because there were some holes you had to carry at like 250, and I just hit the ball farther than you.
We'll see. And I had some trouble with those holes
Yeah.
myself. So it's like, would somebody who hits it further, would they have benefited more from playing in that tournament? So it's it's a lot thinking about golf from all the different perspectives.
Yeah. It really is just. I mean, it's the best sport probably that there is, but it's just so different from day to day. And then like Neil brought up too, European guys, people who live in Florida play better in Florida than people who live in like Arizona. So like when it shifts from California area to Arizona or to Florida, it's like different on the PGA Tour.
And it goes from like the grass. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at from Florida to Michigan, you have Bermuda and Bent. That's
Oh yeah.
way different types of grass there
Yeah. Like
that play completely different.
we don't even have to worry about like which way the grass is growing in Michigan. It's just like almost ever. Like in Florida, you do. You kind of do.
You
Well,
either
and
know
that's
green or
what's
you don't.
Yeah.
it's even in our conference. Like, so where our school's at, there's a D2 school about 5 minutes down the road, and they're called the Hilltop.
I think Travis just cut out.
What?
They're called the Hilltop though. Travis, you cut out. Are you there?
You guys got me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got
okay.
you now. We got you now. You stopped at Hilltop.
Travis was
That was
on
the
the
last we
Hilltop
heard.
with his
Okay.
internet connection.
Yeah, so where I live is a shut down motel. It's got some issues, we'll say. But yeah, the Wi-Fi being one of them. But so we're up in the hills. So our golf course is elevated tee boxes. Drops are
Mhm.
massive, all that good stuff. And you go play another school in our conference. It's just kind of a flat little runaround track. It's like it
Yeah.
throws a different perception and reality at you, where it's like got a game plan for that. It's the most mental game you can play, golf.
Well, you guys are also kind of in the middle. If you go a little bit further south, you are going to have more of that Florida grass, and if you go further north, you're going to have like the Michigan type grass, because you're kind of almost dead in the middle, like we were when we played in Kentucky.
Oh, the tuck. FTK.
FTK.
Now, Travis, I asked Neil this. I'm going to ask you. I think I coached you for one semester. I coached Neil for two, and I'm going to re-ask Neil just because it wasn't edited. You got to rate me as a golf coach. How good of a golf coach was I? Give me everything, goods, bads. I don't care.
Trav, go ahead.
The vibes were up. Like having a connection with a former, like, you played with us, I think helped a lot. I think like you saw it especially a lot in like the vans,
Yeah.
like, and even at practice, it created more of a kind of glued together vibe. 'Cause, sometimes there can be that disconnect where it's, coach, player,
Yeah.
and that kind of evened out the scheme a little bit. So I was a fan of it. Plus, I think always having more than one coach is going to be
Yeah.
better as a whole. But I was a fan.
Yep. And then Neil, you want to go now?
You know, yeah, like I said, I think it was good. It was more the aspect of not focusing on actual golf, but focusing on being there for a friend. Because, like Travis said, you played with us. We all played together. We all traveled
Mm-hmm.
together. So we all know each other on a pretty personal
Yep.
level. So just having a friend, teammate, and a coach there at the same time was a lot better than having someone like, like Liz come and tell us kind of what the deal is.
Mm-hmm.
You would help us around the greens for sure. Never asked for, you never helped us if we didn't want it.
Yep.
But definitely, you were definitely supportive, more supportive than most. And I think it was good, around the greens, especially like you were there just kind of making sure we were doing okay, making sure the vibes were high. But overall, it was good. I would definitely take that over one coach, like Travis said,
Mm-hmm.
or someone who's more like on the course oriented. I don't remember, I can't remember his name, but oh, Mike. Mike, the
Yep.
guy we had my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good assistant, but he was extremely golf oriented. He wasn't be one on one with the player level. So I think having that difference between a coach and assistant is definitely important.
Yeah. And I
And
know I
and
talked. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say, to add on a little bit, I think the young piece helps um, within moderation. When I coached my first year of high school, I was 21, coaching a varsity high school
Yep.
team. That got a little shaky. Whereas here at the college level, I'm 24 currently. Our head coach is currently 26. So I think it's beneficial, closer. Um, we're in that role of a collegiate athlete, so we get the stresses, we get
Yep.
what it takes to be that. So I think that piece also helped a lot. You being close in age with us and just having done it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
I think that piece really helps connect both sides of it.
Yep. And I know Neil and I talked about it in the podcast that doesn't exist because it didn't record. But I know, like, I knew I was never going to be able to help you guys with your swings. I was never going to be able to fix your swings. Like, I didn't know enough about golf. I'm a basketball coach by trade, but really a basketball player by trade. Just happened to play golf and have a better college golf career than college basketball career. But I knew where I could help though is if around the greens. If I see, I wasn't amazing at reading greens, but if I have four groups go through before, by the time Neil's up for sure, I already know I know what every putt's doing for that hole, and then I knew I could help out with some of the mental, aspects of golf as well too, because I understood that a little bit, and it was easier for me to get a hold of those thought processes as well as a player. Plus, I knew how all of you guys thought. I was so close with all of you guys. I knew like who needed more help mentally and who needed me to talk to them when they were struggling mentally and who needed me to like just be quiet when they were struggling mentally, etc. Like I don't think I could ever coach another golf team because I wouldn't know the golfers like that.
See, and that's kind of like our situation here. So, um, our head coach, she's a great player. She played D2, won some tournaments individually, knows the swing very well, and kind of like you said, Zach, like I'm not always going to be able to help with the swing. I'll
Mm-hmm.
try and I'll help with what I can, but more of the mental side of it, keeping your head in it, um, course
Yep.
management, things of that nature, um, and that's I think kind of like you nailed it on the head, Zach. Like when you have that connection, I think coaching makes it a lot easier just from that.
Yep. I mean, I guess after time, you definitely grow some type of understanding of what your new team is like. But I mean, for me, it was so easy. The only person I needed to learn and figure out was Zach when he came in, and then that was it. And then he was kind of pretty easy to figure out, and I think he also connected with me pretty well because I was so close with all of you guys, and you guys trusted me as well. I'm trying to get I don't know why my back monitor just went dark. I have
See,
other
and I
questions
think
on there, but
kind of to bring Stig into the debate a little bit, who played with us and he's now coaching men's and women's down in New Orleans. I talk to him frequently, just going back and forth about coaching, just life and stuff. And one of the things he was having first semester that was kind of causing some issues was the connection piece.
yeah,
He didn't recruit those players, and he comes in as the new guy and changes things up a little bit. And, that doesn't always go the smoothest. And I think that's where head coaching would be very difficult. Say you moved into a team that was sophomore and junior heavy, it can definitely create some challenges. But like you said, after a while, you start to understand and connect more. And I think sometimes it might be something small, but that changes the team drastically.
yeah,
It's like golf is one of those sports where you don't see head coaches like switching teams every year. They are truthfully stuck with their team for a long time. And it's not because they don't want to, it's because that connection aspect, you connect with these guys for 4 years and you have a fresh batch almost every year coming in. So it's hard to kind of leave and then go somewhere else because then you're going to be thrown in the fire with another team not knowing any of the guys because you didn't recruit them.
yep. And I would
Well,
assume
and Zach,
people transfer less in golf than other sports.
You can attest to it, and Neil, I guess you can too. Going through a coaching change, I think we can all agree that when Liz came in, I think we were all pretty hesitant, I would say. So it's an interesting landscape, golf itself, but especially trying, to coach a new team or take on a new position. It's definitely an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, for sure.
It's weird because I didn't really get to see the coaching change with Liz. Y'all did just because, Strickland recruited me.
Yeah.
And then when I signed under Liz, which was fine, but I saw the change
She
from
started
Liz
in
to
the second semester, didn't she? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I saw Liz go and then Kelly come in, Kelly leave, and then Stig come in. And I mean, kind of like Travis and Zach, you both, Stig was a teammate. We all knew each other, all really close. I think having that aspect, him as a head coach, was probably one of the best things that happened to Concordia
Yeah,
in my 4 years I was
you guys
there.
played really well when he was there.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, I just got the reminder that our free meeting will end in 10 minutes. So if it does end, we will just restart a new one. But I know that Neil and I talked about it last week too, but this week was obviously the players at TPC Sawgrass, and there's the Island Green, and we always played at Legacy, which had an Island Green, and I was talking to my my high school buddies on a car ride down to North Carolina for a wedding, and we were just talking about golf, and we were talking about the players, and I was talking about the Island Green, and how I got a 12 at Legacy one year. And they were like, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, "I hit 5 balls in the water or something. I don't know. It just happened." And they couldn't wrap their mind around, like me, who to them I'm a really good golfer, like not being able to hit the green. But I want to ask you guys. I think I played it 3 times. I only hit the green once on the first shot and parred it. I think I went like double 12 and 3. But how many times did you guys play that hole? Do you remember?
I honestly think I
3 times.
3 times?
See, I think I only played it once because every time we'd go back, I had COVID the one time.
Oh, yeah.
Thought I had COVID the one time, got sent home.
Yep.
So I only played it once.
Yeah, I think for me it was 3 because we played it twice near my time, like my senior year. So definitely once my freshman year because that was our first tournament.
How'd you
then
guys do? How'd you do, Neil?
I hit the green every time. I don't think I got worse than a par on that hole. I definitely didn't birdie it. I know that.
You suck. How about you, Travis? How'd you do the one time?
I actually played it. I want to say I hit the green, but I 3-jacked it.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause
So
the one year I got a 12, I hit it in the water on the first shot, and then I went to the short drop area, which was like 30 yards, and I just kept like questioning my swing and hitting it fat. And then I thinned one and hit the back of the green, and I didn't know I could have dropped on the back of the green. I can't remember if it was my last ball, my last water ball, or my first one from the drop area. But one of them I did that, and Liz was like, "Oh, I wish I was there. Like I would have told you could have dropped on the back of the green, and I would have definitely not got a 12." But
I remember that. We have
yeah,
a whole talk
yeah.
after that tournament about knowing the rules.
No, I didn't know. I thought because like technically in my head I'm like technically I'm dropping closer to the hole, so I'm like, how does that work?
Right.
But I did rebound though. I think I went like bogey par bogey for the next three holes. Those are my last three holes, so I did kind of rebound.
Anything is better than 12.
Yeah, I think I shot like a 95 or a 97 or something like that too. Like I broke 100 still. I'm with a 12.
9 over on one hole.
Yeah,
That's hard. That's
still
hard
shot
to
like a
grasp,
95. I know.
and that's hard to finish the round after that.
Yeah, especially since I still had uh, 9, which is water lined from that water still. If you hit a big fade and you hit it short, you're in that water, which I hit it in that water before. Can you picture
Yep.
that? Yeah, I'd hit it in
Yeah.
that water before, and I didn't hit it in the water, thankfully. I actually hit a good drive. And then I believe 10 is also has the water on the left, too, right?
I'm not following with 10. I don't remember 10. I
10
don't
was
know
the
why.
dog leg left around the water, and that water was the water between 18 and 10.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
been a while. It's been a while.
yeah, I mean, I don't remember every hole of that course, but I remember 8, that's for sure.
I remember 8. I remember 7 and 6 because 6 was the short par 4 that Dalton almost nailed me.
Yep. Yep. You could tell that story again if you want.
Oh yeah, so 6 short par 4. It's like 280 yards. You can drive it. I'm on the green and he's on the tee, and there's a ball that comes flying up on the green, rolls over the green, and next thing I know, the next hole, all I hear is, "You should have stopped the ball. You should have stopped the ball." I'm like, how am I supposed to know that this was your ball? Because I mean, for one, I'm going to get assessed a penalty for that. Two, if it's somebody else's, I'm not letting them close to the hole.
Yeah.
Heck
Yep.
no. But won't ever live that down. That's for sure.
Yep. And then on that hole I had my craziest par ever. I hit a hook.
Nail one OB.
I hit a hook into the road, which I never hit hooks. And then I drove it to the short bunker, couldn't see the pin, and hold out from the bunker for par. Didn't even know it went in. The Siena Heights coach told me it went in.
Oh man.
So Travis, since you only played that course once, what was your favorite course we played in tournaments?
I was a big fan of, um, is it Harbor Shores, Harbor
Oh,
Springs?
that's the one I didn't play because I had an
Harbor
esports
Shores.
tournament or
Yeah,
something like
that
that.
Yeah, I like that. I
Drew
think I
talks about that
liked
one all the
that
time.
the aspect of it, being able to like play in a five-some with your team
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of move around all at once. And we were in carts and beautiful course. I just really enjoyed that tournament.
That was only a 18-hole tournament though, right? Or was it 36?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was
forget.
eight.
I can't remember.
No, I want to say it was 36 because I went back to Perry's with him and Lane and stayed the night there rather than the hotel.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I
Yeah.
had an esports tournament that night, and unfortunately I was better at esports than golf, so I had to play in the esports tournament because I did qualify for nationals in Fortnite, so I think that year too
Oh, Fortnite. Z Burke.
That's cracked.
was. Um, what was the worst course we played?
Oh, there's two that come to my head.
Okay.
One was the Kentucky trip over spring break. just because it was freezing.
Yeah.
Wait, or was the freezing one in the spring, in the fall?
It was in the spring.
Okay, I was gonna say yeah, because we were like, oh, we're gonna go play, blah blah blah, and go get some warm weather, and we got down there, and it was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, no. And then the second one was, I want to say it was my junior year WAC spring tournament.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
36 the first day, 18 the next.
It was
The
raining when it
first
was
day,
36 too.
it was raining so hard. Like our last 6 holes, there was standing water on the green. And the
That's
course
right.
was like, oh, we're open to the public tomorrow afternoon, so we
Yep.
have to get 36 in today. That was,
We
I
had
remember by
2
the end
bad
of
years
it,
back to back there.
I remember by the
I
end of it,
can.
I was just jumping in the puddles like a 4-year-old playing in the rain. Like, oh, we're at a golf tournament. It was just tragic.
So
I mean,
my junior year, we had the 36 holes where it rained all day and was like 34 degrees, and then the next day it snowed and it was technically too cold to play, but everyone was voted to play because they wanted to be able, the WAC team to be able to go to the nationals. And then the following year is the one where it rained so much on the 36 hole day, and you and I are the 4 and 5, so we're like the last group, and we're the only teams that haven't finished yet. We're like, because it was 4, 4, and 4, I think is how they sent them out, and we're the bottom 4
yeah,
teams, and we hadn't finished yet, and it's raining so hard they didn't call it. I'm like putting through a massive puddle.
yep.
I hit that. See, it's 16. That's a par 5. I hit that green in regulation or under regulation and 4 putted for. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, because I was putting through the ocean.
Well, and then I think, if I'm thinking back correctly, I think the next day was like 70. I think I got
Yeah,
sunburned.
Yeah,
it
it was
was
sunny.
70 and it was dry. It was oddly dry there.
Except for
Yeah,
the
like
one par 4. I think the second hole they played it as a short par 3 because the fairway was flooded. Yeah.
Freaking Bedford Valley, man.
I gotta go play that course again, just for memories. That's probably the course I remember the most, like from college golf, just because we played it so much.
Right.
Like that's probably the only course we played that I like could probably picture every single hole.
shout out Wash.
Yeah, besides Wash. You guys weren't there when Stonebridge was our. I think it's called Stonebridge was our home course. Right?
Stonebridge.
Yeah.
Oh, Stonebridge?
Stonebridge, yeah.
No.
That was our home course the year before Travis got here. Then I think. We gotta wait for Travis's internet.
Yep. So Harbor Shores for us was different than y'all. Because I played, this is when both y'all were graduated already. It was 36-18. We only got to play with one of our teammates, but we were in carts.
That's because it
That
was
was,
COVID.
that's right. That was probably one of my best tournaments I had at Concordia. Ended up in third.
Who hosted that tournament?
Bethel.
Bethel?
Yep.
Aren't they in Indiana school?
Yes.
I was about to say they're in the Crossroads or something.
Right.
Yeah. Well, now we got Travis back, I think.
Oh yeah, we in the club.
Outside of just weather conditions, what was your least favorite course to play? Because I have a course in my head that I never want to play it again in my life, and it's by me, and I'm never gonna play it again.
I wasn't a huge fan of Timber Ridge.
Okay, I barely remember that course. I'll be honest.
Very tree lined.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's God. The
I
other
do
one
remember
I'm probably
playing Timber
thinking of
Ridge
the
and
same.
starting with 2 OB on the first hole. Whatever my first hole was, I hit 2 OB to start. I was like, great start.
Zach, are you thinking of, say the course and we'll see if we're
I
thinking of the
can't
same
remember
one?
the name, but it was the course that Cleary always hosted their tournament at.
Oh,
It was Will's home course when he was in high school. Because it's
Yeah.
Howell High School's home course.
Will.
I can't remember the name of that course.
it started with a T, didn't it?
Neil might, yeah. No, it was like, oh, it was a weird name. It was like, because it's named after the lake out there. Like,
Yeah, we played it one time when
It's not
Stig was the
Chattanooga.
coach.
It's something. Let me see if I can find it on
Yeah,
That's what
I'm
I'm doing
looking.
right now.
because I could find it on Google
Chemung
Maps.
Hills.
Yeah, Shamong Hills. That's it. Yep. Yeah, I hated that course so much. I played it like 3 years in a row. I don't know how many times you guys played it because we stopped going to Cleary's tournament, but I played it like 3 years in a row, and I hated it. I never liked that course.
Neil, what did you think of the one in Muncie?
Oh man, I remember that event. That was long. That was extremely long. That was a 1 day, a 36 hole event. Or no, was that 2 days? No, that was 1 day. That was 1 day.
Those one
Yeah.
day 36 holes were tough.
That it was like I've said before, all the opportunities to play was great because at the end of the day, there are some schools that don't get to play
Yeah.
5 tournaments a semester. But that tournament sucked. 36 holes in scorching heat when the course is playing probably 7,600 yards
One of
is
the
brutal.
one of the years at Shamong, it was a 6 hour round for 18. I don't know if it
Well,
was
that's
before
nothing.
you guys were there or what, but it was terrible.
That's
I
It
nothing.
remember
finished.
that.
You remember that?
Or no, it was Neil, you remember
Kentucky, 8 hours, bro.
no, when we played Notre Dame's course, Warren.
The Warren, yes.
Is that the
Oh,
was is that
dude, we had like
was I there? I'm
I
trying
think
to
we
remember if
had
I was there
four
coaching.
I think we had four of our
Four
five guys
groups.
backed up on
Oh,
one tee
one
box.
T. It was hole 10,
Yep.
Was that the one
Oh,
in
that
like
was
on
South
Naperville
Bend.
or something?
No, that one was in
no.
South Bend.
Okay, I didn't go to that one, but I know the other. What was that other Indiana course that you guys played? I didn't play. I was coaching, but that was the one I
We
drove you
played
guys
one.
to. I think I was the only
So we
coach there.
played.
I think I drove you guys, and I was the only coach.
I know what one you're talking about.
Was this the one where we were by Ball State?
No,
No, that was the Muncie one.
this was in
Okay.
Naplesville, Indiana, or Noblesville, Indiana. Noblesville, Indiana. Because
Oh,
I had a
yes.
teammate Zach Johnson. Shout out Zach Johnson. I'm pretty sure he's a police officer in Noblesville, Indiana.
Yeah, that's right. Right. That's right. That's right. That was a good course.
Yeah, that was a really cool course. But that one had some long backups too, because there was a couple of greens that were drivable or something, or maybe it was just
That
one
was
green. It was
all.
like 8 or something was drivable, and everyone was waiting to drive it, even though the wind was in your face and no one could drive it.
That was always the problem. Kids thinking they're going to hit the green in two or drive the green,
Yeah.
and then they end up 40, 50 yards short.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's five groups on the tee waiting to go,
Oh,
and
yeah,
our round turned from 4.5 hours to 8.
that happened so many times, and also like they would do stupid things like they would have an A and B off of every single hole for a tournament because we'd have a boy and girl. It's like, can we just like schedule 2 different days and have the girls on a different day and the boys on a different day? Because this is just too many people on the course at once.
Right. I think one of the worst tournaments for that was Kentucky. That
Yeah.
one par three that was
The
uphill, and it
walk.
was
Dude,
yeah, the walk was brutal, but the the green sucked. It was all undulated, false front. So anything short would roll off 20 yards because it was just straight downhill.
Honestly, the Kentucky course, they had a lot of teams there in general because it was a lot of WAC teams and it was a lot of whatever that conference was down there that played in it too. And LTU hosted it,
what
right?
LTU was the host,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there was a lot of WAC teams, and they had a lot of teams from that conference that's out there in
It
Kentucky
was
area.
it was the Cumberland school.
Yeah. Because I remember one guy telling me that their college offered a bourbon minor. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I'm like, I should transfer. A couple more questions here. What do we got? What else I got on here? Oh yeah, we gotta talk about the Fantasy Golf League. Travis just won the Players, and then he won what was the last signature event? The Arnold Palmer Invitational too. Travis has won 2 in a row now. I think you're number 1 in the standings, and you've already won like half of your money back because we paid to play in it. You've already won like half of your money back. But I know Neil and Neil, I moved out of last place though. I think you moved into last place, or you're maybe back in 10th. And
Did
Travis
I?
in last place now. But I'm in 9th now instead of last, or no, I'm in 10th instead of last, I think. But Travis, you're sitting there very happily in first place with no one close to you right now. How's that feel?
Yeah, the boys have had a couple good weeks. To start the season when nobody was playing,
And we lost Travis again.
At the start, I was so confused. I didn't get the scoring. I didn't get anything. I was just like, I'll play, whatever. Throw some guys in there. And then as the season kind of started rolling and my guys started playing, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I think this is dope.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one has like kind of thought of something like this before. But for you to like go in and figure out all the scoring and like the payouts
Mhm.
and how free all that works, shout out to you because
Appreciate it.
I was confused just reading it for about the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, I do think doing the preseason one helped because I want everyone to understand how the starters and the scoring worked. But
Yeah,
I think, obviously it's something I want to keep doing. So it's kind of like a test year. I'm already know I'm going to change the playoff rules. I forget what I have them as right now, but it's just not going to work. Just seeing the amount of people that are playing and actually making cuts, etc. So I'll have to adjust that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I love watching golf on Sundays. That's what I do. Tasha and I go to their parents every Sunday for dinner. Normally, I'm watching football in the wintertime and golf in the summertime. And I knew that some fantasy golf leagues did exist. Like the PGA Tour app actually has a fantasy golf league, but it's you pick different players every week, and then you can't start them again for the rest of the year. But they do like 3 seasons of it. So they have like a first season, a second season, a third season. I just saw that they're starting their second season now. Each season's like 11 weeks or something. So they're starting their second season now. So you can pick fresh golfers again. So if you pick someone already, you can pick them again. I think you go like pick someone like 3 times or something like that. So, but I was like, that's confusing. No one would want to do that. Like I have my friend Tim's in the league, and he doesn't watch golf at all. Like he would not want to have to redraft a team every week. So I wanted to try to structure it as close as possible to like a fantasy football way, while also making the scoring super fair.
yeah, I'm a big fan.
Like I said, I think it gives everybody an opportunity to score, win.
Mm-hmm.
Even like me this week, whatever happened to Corey Connors. I mean, I was in third or fourth after the third round, and I have
Yep.
not been in that position at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's fair, like being able to pick up guys still after each tournament,
Yep.
trading, not that anybody's done any trading
Not
yet,
yet.
but
Hopefully someone makes a trade.
right.
Well, I think another thing too is like I've never been more invested in the PGA Tour
Yeah.
than this year. Every week I'm like, oh, let's see, like, oh, I could play this guy, but this guy might be a little. I've never been more invested in the PGA,
Yeah.
which like I like to watch it, but like never like to this extent.
Yeah. It
Like I
gives you like
watched
different guys to root for too. Like you might not even be cheering for.
like Michigan was on the other day. They lost, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even watch that game. I was watching the players because Cam Young was one of my guys, and I'm
Yeah.
like, every shot I'm like locked in, like, oh, what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I once Michigan got down too. I was in the car going home, but I turned off the Michigan game too. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the players. Like it's a lot more exciting. And another golf tournament that came down to the last hole or two, or last hole really. But it seems like it's happening every week. The golf tournaments come down to the last hole. I don't think people realize who've never watched golf before and maybe aren't avid watch golfers, when it's coming down like to literally the 18th tee to see who wins the golf tournament. Like that is exciting. Like, Cam Young, birdie 17, and then you have him pipe a drive down 18th fairway, longest drive in like their shot tracking history since like 2003, and then Matt Fitzpatrick has to respond and it hits it into the woods, and then like the tournament's not even over with yet still because uh, Cam Young barely holds the green, and Matt Fitzpatrick lays up and then hits a nice chip shot in there, and then Cam Young didn't birdie it, so Matt had a chance to send it to a playoff. And then last year, the players went to a playoff. So I don't think people realize golf is also so strange in the fact that you have like five minutes between shots. Or, that's not 5 minutes. You have time between shots, so it like builds an anticipation.
And I think, like we said before, it's anybody's day.
Yeah.
There is, you have the guys like Scotty who last year just is absurdly consistent and was winning consistently.
Yep.
This year, I haven't even seen his name in the top five.
Yeah,
So
he ruined his top 10 streak and then ruined his top 20 streak the following week, and I don't think he was in the top 20 again this week. But he keeps if he figures out how to play golf on Thursday, Friday though, it could be a different story. But
it could, but I think, like we said before, it's anybody's day.
yeah,
Anybody can go out there and shoot 65, 66, and somebody who's leading can have the pressure on them too much and go out and shoot 73.
yeah, that's the cool thing
Dude,
about
Vic,
having five guys too, and like your top three scores count because there were some people. Actually, this week was the week where we had the most people make the cut. I think only Gibby's team didn't have like three people make the cut, and that's only because he had Callum Morikawa who withdrew. But like you could have a player one day shoot a 78 and his score not count because you had other guys shoot 1 under or 2 under or something like that. And so like you have the opportunity to have a two golfers with a bad round, and as long as your team could put together good rounds, together, whether it doesn't matter what three it is, as long as you have three good scores, like you could technically win without having any of your guys in the top, top 20 on the leaderboards if the scores lined up correctly. Because I was originally going to structure it by placement in tournaments. So it was going to be, and I was going to make it season long, like where it was going to be if you got first place in a tournament, you got 1 point, second place 2. Then it was going to be like 2x for signature events, so you would get 2 points for first place, and then 4x for majors, so you get 4 points for first place. And then low at the end wins. But I was like, that kind of sucks too, because if you have a good team, you just have a good team, and you're going to play well. Where if you have a bad team in this, if you just perform well in a couple weeks, you can make the playoffs. Like if you perform well in just a couple, with maybe my team's that because we performed well this week, but you can make the playoffs, and then you have the opportunity too in the different weeks when you're playing against two other people to actually have a chance to get some points and maybe try to claw up the leaderboard.
Right.
So Travis, do you want to give us your picks for what's the tournament next week? The Valspar Championship, right?
It is.
Yep.
It's in my neck of the woods.
Yep. You going to it?
No, have to work.
Do they do? I have never been to a golf tournament actually. The ones around here though, for like the Live tournament and the Champions Tour tournament that they do, they have concerts after them. Do they do the concerts
Yeah.
of those?
So last year we saw Jordan Davis
Okay.
on Friday night, which was cool because we got VIP passes, so we were up on right in front of the stage.
Okay.
This year is, I don't even know who's performing this year, but it's someone good if I remember.
Because
But yes,
2 years ago I went to see Russell Dickerson. No, was it Russell Dickerson? Who was it? No, it wasn't Russell Dickerson. It was, man, I can't figure out who I saw. But at the Champions Tour tournament, and then last year I was supposed to go to the Live tournament in Northville and see Imagine Dragons. I was supposed to go to the actual tournament too that year, but one of my friends had hosted a family and friends golf tournament that I played in and got third place. So that was cool. But I'm gonna try to go to the Live tournament again this year. They just announced that it was in Northville again.
nice.
Yep. Because Michigan doesn't really get that many golf tournaments besides the.
You got the Rocket Mortgage. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. But honestly, I would just go to the Live tournament. I'd rather go to the Live tournament just to follow Bryson. I'd probably follow Bryson. But Travis, you had to make some picks. So who do you got? Neil beat me last week, and he put the guests ahead.
I got to pick 3 in the top 10, right?
Yep,
That
and
I
then
think
a
we're going
winner.
to be in the top 10.
Yep, and then a different one person to win.
I think JT gets top 10.
Okay.
Scotty returns.
Okay.
And I think Jacob Bridgman.
Okay.
And then my winner, looking at it here. Akshay's been playing good.
It's so hard to pick someone who's
For
already
some-
won, though, because it's so hard to win 2 tournaments in 1 year.
For some reason, I have a feeling that Victor plays very well this week.
Okay.
Partially, that's because I had to say that because he's on my team, but I like Victor, and I just got a good feeling about him this week.
I got Brooks Koepka, who's been actually playing well the last couple weeks, and he's also on my team, so hopefully he continues to play well. Adam Scott and JT, which now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure they're all on my team. So that would be great if they all finished top 10. I'd win. And then for my winner, I have Ludwig. It looked like he was really going to win the Players, and then he choked. But
Comes back on a little revenge tour this week.
yeah,
I like
that's
it.
what I got. Mental bounce back, which he actually seemed to take the losing pretty well in the couple interview clips I saw of him. So, I mean, it's got to suck to feel like you're going to win, and then he really only fell out of it like, I don't know, with like 6 holes to go, basically. I can't remember what it was. But
he. I want to say
it was
he
right
went
before I
like
started watching.
he went like 6-6, I think,
Yeah, I think he did.
and that
something
just
like
kind of. And I think the guy he was playing with, I can't remember who it was, but he played those holes like 5-6. So that pairing just was not. They fell hard together.
Yeah, but they're for. I think when I joined, there was like they were still in contention, and then so was the actual group that basically decided of Matt Fitzpatrick and Cameron Young. I think they were all within a shot or two, and you didn't really know who was going to win until I think really until 16. It became pretty clear that it was going to be that second to last group was going to be the winner no matter what. But Travis, you also got to pick 2 or 3 songs. I haven't made the playlist yet, but we're gonna make a playlist for the summer of all the guest songs.
Okay, so I got 4 wrote down, but let's see. So I'm gonna go "Take It Easy" by the Eagles.
Okay, I like that one.
"We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel.
Okay.
And then I'm between "Animals" by Neon Trees or "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac.
There's gonna be this is why I like this. There's gonna be such a wide variety of genres on this playlist now.
And if you wanted to, name this podcast after me, you could put, or a playlist after me, you could put "Shitty Golfer" by Toby Keith on there. That works too. I'll go "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac for the third.
I actually need to make that playlist. I've been slacking on that. I haven't done it yet because I'm gonna get to a point where I'm like 10 podcasts in, and I gotta go watch back 10 podcasts to find the actual songs. But hopefully we can create some type of playlist once. Well, Neil can already golf because he lives in Florida. So, but when people go golfing, something they'll throw on that's kind of a big variety. I know. I mean, I normally just listen to country music, but every song people have given. I mean, I like them, so be interested.
And I think
little roulette playlist.
That question gave me so many issues because I'm like, well, what's the vibe of the rock, right? Like, if you're out there with your buddies just having fun, for me, it might range from country to a little bit more, a little bit more vulgar, we'll say. Or if you're playing bad, you might just turn it off completely. It's so tough because the vibe is never going to be the same on the course. So
yeah, I feel like I just always end up turning Morgan Wallen on. So maybe I'll change that.
I feel like it always ends with country music.
For sure. I will say this playlist is going to have Stateside in it by Pink Panthers and Zara Larsson because Tasha put that one in there. So if you're listening to it and that one comes up, you got to listen to the whole song. You can't skip it.
No skip. No skip.
This gonna be on Spotify or Apple Music?
Spotify. I'd have to figure out how to upload it onto Apple Music, but because Spotify, you can have the playlist. You can have the the community playlist.
If you create on Spotify, you can put it in Apple Music. You can just transfer it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that then.
Or even Neil, I don't know if you have Apple Music, but
I do.
You could
we
send
could
one
make
of
it.
us the songs, and we could
I'll
just.
say we can just make it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard to do. Just the adding would be different though, because I add it to the playlist. I don't think it would automatically go to Apple Music, but yeah. All right. Lastly, Should the players be a major? Yes or no?
No.
Neil?
Yes.
I'm gonna vote no. So you lost to the panel, but you gotta share your reasoning why.
Well, for me, I've said in the past, it's one of those tournaments that everybody looks forward to, like the
Mm-hmm.
waste management.
Sure.
Um, if there was such thing as like a mid-major, but was still considered a major, I would consider it that because the players is huge. You get the best of the best. There really are no bad players in the tournament. It is all guys that have a chance to win. I think it's the same way every week, but most tournaments we see a lot of amateurs. But this is one of those tournaments where you have to score to win. And I think everybody tries to score and win. And I think, like the waste management, this is a tournament everybody looks forward to. So
Sure.
I could see it being a major, obviously,
Probably
like we've
more than
talked
some of the
about in the
previous
past.
signature events, to be honest, too.
In the past, like we've talked about, it is hard to get a tournament boosted to be a major, and it probably won't happen because of historical aspects. But if it was a possibility, I'd like to see this or the waste management to become one.
And I'll let Travis give his reason why no, and then I'll give mine.
For me, I think it's when you think of the four majors, Open, definitely U.S. Open,
Mm-hmm.
our kind of knockoff of the Open,
Yep.
the Masters, and the PGA Championship. And I think it's been just those four for, however long. So to kind of add something in, well, then I think it would start a domino effect or a wannabe domino effect of
Yeah.
other people would, try making other tournaments majors. And I think it's good where it's at because it's not considered a major, but I think it brings more light into just the regular PGA season.
Mm-hmm.
Because how many people hear the mat or the players and they're like, oh, that's kind of a big one and turn it on.
Yeah.
But I think it should just stay the four majors. Um, I definitely see the debate though for making it a major, just because of its ambiance and the grandiose of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I would say, it's tough when you're trying to add another major because it has been the four forever. I mean, whenever the Masters was added, that was the last one was added, I'm pretty sure, and that's been the majors for the rest of the time. So you're looking at probably since like the 50s. Has been whatever, maybe even earlier than that. I think Augusta was playing the Masters before World War II, so probably even sooner than that. Um, and it'd be so tough to add because then you're like, all right, if you've already won it, do you get two more majors? Like does Tiger now have two more? Does Rory now have two more? Does Scotty now have two more? And then it's tough too because like it obviously is. I think the players already know, like they know it's a big tournament. It's the biggest non-major tournament besides arguably the FedEx Cup. And you could argue that the FedEx Cup maybe should be a major than if you're going to make the players a major. And I've seen people argue like if you're going to add another major, it should be like an Australian Open, like even though there already is an Australian Open, but like something like that. So there's another major at a different part of the world. It could be like the World Open, and it could be, kind of how the President Cup works, and it could be anywhere but Europe or America. They could host it there and have something different like that. But I also think the players is also the only or is ran by the PGA. Unlike the major championships, none of the major championships are ran by the PGA Tour. Even the PGA is ran by PGA of America and not the PGA Tour, I believe. So I know I saw a bunch of people saying, "Oh, the players has the best golfers in the world," which yes does to an extent. I mean, if you're going to try to tell me that Bryson is not one of the best golfers in the world, you're probably wrong. So it kind of sucks that if you were to make it a major, you would have people like that who aren't playing. And I also do think that the majors should be truly the best golfers in the world, like they have remained even with Live. So I think it'd be tough to just randomly start calling it a major and then also not having the best field you possibly have. Because John Rahm's been playing great on the Live Tour right now too, and he's someone who probably would be competitive in that as well. So
um, off topic, what would you guys rank the four majors?
I think Masters is one because that's also the only one that's at the same course every year. So and then I would go the U.S. Open just because I think it's spectacularly cool how the U.S. Open tries to have the winner as close to even par as possible. And then I would go the Open, and then I would go the PGA. I think the PGA is the worst by far. You could argue the Players is probably better than the PGA.
I would go the Masters 1. I would go the Open 2 just because I like that type of play better than just normal US play. Like I was talking about earlier, the Europeans, they play a lot different than your typical American.
Sure.
So I like that. US Open 3, definitely kind of like what you said, Burke. Keeping them as close to even as possible is probably arguably one of the worst scoring tournaments that is around.
Yep.
And then for the PGA, it's just to me that I don't like it.
Yeah, the PGA is really, especially since Scotty just won it by like 8 strokes last year too. So it's like no one even watched it.
Give me the waste management.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I'm going Masters, U.S. Open, PGA Championship.
Yeah.
And if they made the Players a major, if that ever happened, that's for sure ahead of the PGA.
Yeah.
And then I'd even say it's a coin flip for the Open for me.
I don't think I'd put it in front of the Open, but I do think I would put it in front of the PGA.
It's probably not, but it's fun. It's interesting to think about.
It'd also be
The
weird because the
Open
Players
versus the
would be the only other
Players.
major that's at the same course every year.
Yeah,
So that'd be a little strange too. Where the U.S. Open, I just found out has their entire, they have all but like 3 of their courses planned out till 2051.
Yep. Every year they'll come out with the following.
Yeah. So I just found out Oakland's hosting in 2051 as well as like 2037 or whatever they're hosting. Oakland Hills Country Club in Michigan. And
Yep.
I was like, huh, that's weird. So I looked to see how far out they had it, and they only have like 4 not decided in the next 25 years, which is crazy because now I checked the PGA, and the PGA has only planned out like the next 5 years.
we're closer to 2051 than we are 2000.
Yeah, we are.
Holy smokes!
That's crazy. I was telling my buddies too, we can take our grandkids to that tournament probably. 2051 is so far from now. All right, well, thank you guys for joining. This is definitely gonna be a long episode. We're at an hour and 5 minutes right now, and I haven't even reviewed the players yet. So we're gonna be over an hour, but I knew it'd be a good time with you guys. So thank you guys for joining. Appreciate your time.
Yep. Thanks for having us, Bert.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
All right, see you, boys.
Deuces.